Opening. I didn't write anything at all, but hello and welcome to another episode of Dragon Calamity. There will be calamity and possibly dragons. Maybe? Probably. Let's see. Tonight we've got all of our players with us, which I'm happy about because we need all of our players for the calamity and the dragons. Let's start with Keo. How are you? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how calamitous do you think this is going to go?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm about to start tinkering with another thing, so that's making me happy. Kaylin is absolutely certain everything is going to go to shit in a very explosive way, and she's kind of looking forward to seeing how that goes down. 100% shenanigans are about to occur.
Understandable. Sandy, how are you? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how's Ms. feeling about the calamity levels that this might be?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. As for the rating, I want to give it like a 9, maybe 10. I feel like stuff's about to pop off, and about to see some action, I guess, and in the bad way, maybe.
I love the faith in your teammates. Speaking of, hello Ian, how are you? And on a scale of 1 to 10, you being here at the forefront, able to see what is going on, how would Xander, in the back of his head, rate the level of calamity that may or may not occur? How's he feeling?
So I'm doing good. I appreciate you asking. I'm doing pretty good. Just hanging out. Like I said, hanging out. But as far as the 1 to 10 goes, like we're at a 0. Xander's got this covered. I'm so confused why everyone thinks everything's about to go to shit. Like the Dragon Messiah has this. Like I don't understand the concerns, but I guess only time will tell.
All right, so we've got one vote for not immediately going to shit.
I never voted that it was immediately going to go to shit, just that it is going to go to shit.
Okay. So, faith that it might be a minute before the shit occurs. Just a matter of time. Okay. Hello, Soul. How are you? And on a scale of 1 to 10, with you being right there, up in the forefront of all of this, how would Zeroka rate the calamity that may or may not occur? How does he feel like this is going?
He's basically, at this point, a little bit getting quite... because this little shit, like kobold wizard, preventing us from completing our tasks, and Zeroka at this point just wants this to be over.
That's fair. So who wants to do just a little bit of recap and earn you some DM inspiration? Because stuff did happen last session.
I'm gonna start with the most unimportant shit happening. Kaylin went into the cave, was listening in, decided it was probably a good idea to just let them handle this, and so stayed outside of the cave and called for backup. The she-devil, Jess, is still MIA, and so they're sending in a replacement instead. So we're waiting for that to happen.
It is an option. Did Kaylin communicate that to Xander and Zeroka? The Zuz?
I don't think so. I think that was just something that she said once her and Mr. Stabby were outside of the cave once they went in and came back out. I don't think she told them.
Okay, so they have no idea you've called for backup.
Nope.
They think that you have total faith in them at this time. Love that. Anyone else?
I got it, buddies. Thumbs up.
Yep. They have no idea. They're just like, yeah, our teammates have faith. We got this.
Actually, no. It was less calling for backup and more calling for a person to actually take the damn dragons once we have them, because we have no idea where to take them.
This is true.
It was less specific backup and more, Somebody needs to come get these damn things, and we can't do it. So insert shoulder shrug here.
This is true. None of you have been to the sanctuary. Anyone else want to recap?
Yeah, so we came up with this amazing, awesome plan where Xander was humbly going to disguise himself as the Dragon Messiah, beautiful, elegant, saint-like being who is a messenger of the dragon gods, and he has descended upon these mortals, these kobold mortals, to acquire the dragon that dragons that they currently have in their possession for the greater good, of mankind, dragonkind, all kinds, and he believes that the chief can be reasoned with, but that this druid is just out of his goddamn mind and has instead decided to essentially just ignore the druid and talk directly to the chief, and try and hopefully, win the chief over with his silver tongue.
Yeah, the shaman is not feeling y'all. Not even a little bit. A little problematic.
Well, I guess what hasn't really been said is, I guess, Kaylin and Miz are outside. We're outside, kind of shooting the shit, not really doing much for a while, as we're hearing the conversation go on through the earpiece. And I guess Kaylin kind of roped Miz into like, oh, we should go into a cave, and Miz was kind of reluctant. But now we're in the cave, and Miz can't see anything. He is completely blind, so he's now being handheld, walking through a dark cave like a 5-year-old child.
A trap-infested cave.
That is also true. A trap-infested cave.
We got advantage on dodging those.
That is true.
Yeah, all of you are dexterity builds, almost. I think Kaylin is the only one without insane dex, but
Mm-hmm.
you got this.
I don't.
So reluctantly, Zeroka actually decided to be his assistant to deal with the gnolls. And he is now speaking a mighty thunderous voice that has been working out pretty well for him as he's stumbling through the cave and scaring these gnolls that he's a dragon. As of right now, yeah, he's a little like as I mentioned earlier, a little peeved that this little wizard gnoll.
I mean, they're kobolds. You already.
Oh, they're kobolds or gnolls? Okay.
They're kobolds. Yeah, you already killed all the gnolls. The gnolls were the previous encounter.
Gotcha.
These are kobolds skittering around and doing crazy shit. Don't worry about it though. So, everyone get you that extra point of DM inspiration. Make sure you added. I gave everyone an extra point last week for the fun RP. If you did not add that one, go ahead and do so, because they do stack. But yeah, so we pick back up. Negotiations are intense. Orto, the chief, and Nodru, the shaman, are up there with several other kobolds. There are probably 7 or 8 behind them, and you are very aware that there are additional kobolds that you have seen that you no longer see that have retreated back further into the cave. The shaman seems to be unwilling to reason with you much. The chief seems to be a little bit more reasonable. But you were definitely seeing why Darn called them crazy. Who wants to continue some negotiations? See if you can convince, or if there's anything else you would like to do, because nothing is keeping you in this cave at this moment.
I believe one of the last things I had said was I looked away from the shaman to the chief and was just like, your shaman is not willing to talk about this peacefully and and like straightforwardly. He's just doesn't. He's too for reason. But at the end of the day, are you not the chief of this tribe, of this clan?
I am the chief. He kind of is looking at the shaman, who's still just very upset and kind of a little bit twitchy, and the shaman's like, "Don't let him whisper in your ear with that silver tongue of his. They are just more people coming to steal the dragons." And the chief is kind of like, "You can understand that I do listen to the shaman here. He has never guided us wrong. This might be something I need to think on for a moment longer. Is there anything else I should take into consideration?"
I believe said our piece for the most part. Just as I have already told you, we into the dragons to the rest of their kind to be become one among the many of their that are coming back, and we wish to reward you for having founded them. Though, as I have also said, if unwilling to part with them, to give them back to their to let them go to their rightful place, I shudder to think of what my masters do in order to gather them themselves.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, but much of this is boiling down to the ability to keep these young dragons safe. Am I right?
Indeed.
Well, then I think that perhaps there is a simple resolution. Is it just the two of you?
We have companions that are not far away, but are not here as well.
Then perhaps we should decide who is the best at protecting, in the way of a duel of sorts. We will respect if we lose and allow you to take the dragons without additional fight. But if we win, you will leave and never return.
I look over to my apprentice and then kind of look back and just like kind of like Zender kind of like raises his like still got his hands crossed. He like raises the fingers on one of his hands as if to like kind of in his fingers kind of in like a uppity way. You know, that may not be a terrible idea. How would you like to do it? Would you like it to be me and my companions versus your five warriors, and whoever wins?
That seems fair. But as the question is our ability to protect the dragons, it will be on our grounds. And he kind of waves back at the kobolds, and you see them kind of start shuffling out. And one by one, they kind of disappear down this hallway as the chief takes a step back. And it appears this little cavern area right here is where he wants to have this duel. It is a tight space. The ceiling in spots reaches a whopping 6 feet. So not much leg room for, normal sized people, but more than enough for these kobolds to be skidding around and doing what they need to do. And you see Snorky nervously re-enter the room as well.
Xander will kind of place a hand like up to his face as if kind of like to examine his hand, but is also using it to kind of cover his mouth, and is just like, "Y'all cool with that idea?" He says over the walkie-talkie earring, the stone.
So long as we all remember that we're not actually supposed to. We can be there in a moment. Ish.
Of course. And Xander kind of puts his hand down and is like, "All right, I believe this will be a fun challenge."
Is it going to be just the two of you? Or are you going to allow your companions to assist?
Can we just dramatically wake our way in right now?
Xander will wave a hand, as if to summon them as they walk in.
So this is up to you. It's going to be, they want to fight the two in front of them. So Kaylin and Ms., you are optional. I did not want to railroad you into a fight. Obviously some of this is, but if you have other suggestions, that is also welcome. But I did not want to require you to fight.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna fight.
I was gonna let Zeroka and Xander decide that. Like, if they want to have some fun and go 2v2 and see what happens, I'm okay with that. Like, Miz would be okay with that. He would respect it if you guys want to fight him fair and square.
It's up to the two of y'all. Whatever y'all want to do.
Right now, Miz can't really see, and I know there's a fire, but it's just Miz is all right with just staying in the back and letting you two, because he feels like you two can handle it. As he's hearing all this conversation go on the earpiece.
Can they still have a dramatic entrance? As he waves his hand, we just kind of, what's up?
Well, yeah, y'all can still join, I guess, but maybe not fight. I don't know. Well, if y'all don't want, it's up to y'all. If y'all don't want to fight, it can just be me and Zeroka.
Let them fight.
Okay, well, fuck it. Let's go. So Xander will still do the wave to let them appear. Since we're putting all of our pieces on the board, I suppose my companions shall be here, but it will be only me and my apprentice here who fights.
That is fine with me. And the shaman's like, it won't matter in the end. We will be victorious just like we have been every other time. So are Kaylin and Ms. going to make their dramatic entrance?
Yep, as I'm being led across, if I can't see.
Well, it's gonna less be led across and more she just has the hand gently pulling him in the direction behind her back so they don't see the fact that he can't see shit. As soon as they get closer to the fire, she's kind of lets him go. It's like, you got this, right?
Wow, that chuckle just yeah, I totally got this. It's fine. It's great.
Yeah, you see, with only two of you participating, the chief kind of waves his hand and dismisses Snorky. So it is now just the shaman and the chief. And they kind of kick those little beds that are on the floor, pretend that those have been moved by the other kobolds. So that is not there. The fire remains, but there are no other obstacles on the ground. You do have this little ledge kind of to the southeast that is only about 2 feet. But again, the tallest part of the ceiling in the center here is only about 6 feet. And it's maybe 5.5 feet closer to the edges of this room. So a little cramped. But they are waiting for you to kind of take your positions.
Just making sure. We're still level 4, right?
Yes.
Or okay, couldn't remember if we were 4 or 5. Okay, making sure. Anyways. All right, yeah, so Xander will just kind of walk up to about right here and will still have his hands as he kind of motion, he will motion one hand for his apprentice to approach as well and get ready for combat.
So Zeroka actually walks up, and at this moment, he will cast Blade Song on himself, and he just starts. That's it. If you're okay with that.
Yep. Let's roll some initiative.
Okay.
Neat.
Ooh, can Kaylin add as she's walking up? By the way, I called the guild and someone is going to teleport to our fucking location, and I don't know when that's going to happen, so yeah.
Oh, it's a 9. I thought that was a 2 at first. I guess not terrible. But Zeroka over here with that fucking 22.
He's ready to go.
Oh boy. Yeah, my little kobolds did not do well. I'm just adding a billion.
That's fine.
Initiative.
That's not how that works.
Should I have them move separately? Yeah, I'll have them do separate initiatives. Why not? Drew got 4 total. The chief got an 11. So it doesn't matter because they're still at the bottom of the order. So first up, as we begin this battle in these cramped quarters, the shaman and the chief, who pulls out a bejeweled rapier, ready to fight, removes the shield from his back. And the shaman readies himself. Zeroka, you're top of the initiative.
All right. I can't sleep.
Holy shit.
A+, dude. A fucking plus.
And it's going to be on the shaman mainly, or whoever is in that vicinity. I don't know what their HP is, but if it's less than 32, they're sleeping.
It was sleep all along.
It is a little bit above 32, but that is a good move. Let's see.
Yeah, it starts on the
Just reading
creature with the
through it.
lowest hit points first, and then if it's able to go on, it goes to the next one.
No, because I'm doing custom stat blocks on these. These are not your regular.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, no, that's
kobold.
fine. I'm just saying that like that's how the spell works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's not a moving target. Like I've got the stat blocks. I'm not just like buffing and debuffing at random or anything.
You're good.
You see the shaman kind of like take a couple staggering steps, and he looks sleepy, like his eyes are starting to get heavy, and he kind of tries to shake it off, and he's like, I see what you're doing, and it will not work.
Fucking good. Goddamn. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, if you'd gotten in like 1 or 2 hits, that would have been fucking amazing. Because it was not much over that 32. I'm gonna be honest.
All right. I just said my turn right now. Then.
Okay. Xander.
My British supposed to protect but no.
As the one most likely to come in.
God, y'all have no faith in me. Jeez.
You're not my Messiah.
I didn't vote for you. So, interacting with an object is a free action, right? Or I can interact with a single object as a free action.
What object is it, and what are you trying to do with it?
I am just pulling out the coin of darkness.
Yeah, I'll let pulling it out be a free action. Do not quote me on that later.
Okay. So
pulling it out will not always be a free action.
that's that. Anyway,
I knew what you were all thinking.
So a big thing of darkness, of magical darkness, spreads from 15 feet, covering me and my apprentice here. I am going to step up to here and then cast Silent Image right next to me and create a duplicate of myself.
Okay, so there is darkness surrounding you, and now a duplicate?
Yes.
Okay. So, where's the duplicate?
He's going to be literally right here next to me.
Okay, see if you can move your token. Your
I
duplicate
can.
now. There you go. Okay, I copy pasted.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to move one more square, and then as a bonus action, put the coin away.
Okay.
So now there's 2 of me, and they're both being perfectly still. So they have to figure out which one's the real me.
Oh boy. Okay. I am struggling to select the fucking circle, so pretend the circle is not there on the map. because I put it up and now it won't go away. Yeah, you do that, and the shaman is immediately like, trickery! I told you! These are sly ones! We would be letting our dragons go with thieves and liars! And it is the chief's turn. And the chief, I am going to roll a d4, and even he's going to go for the top one. Odds he's going to go for the bottom one, and I do not remember which one was the illusion.
Ooh, fun.
That's a 1. So odds he's going to go down.
God, he's gonna get in my
my
grill.
Gosh. Hang on. I moved him wrong. Okay, so he's going to go down to the lower one and start some attacking. You are lucky because because the chief hasn't, or the shaman hasn't moved yet, so there's something he cannot do yet. But he's gonna go in with the first of his attacks, and he is going to swing his little rapier at you. Does a 14 hit?
It does not.
All right. He's going to swing at you, and with as much like flourish as he has, you are able to easily dodge it. Kind of looking down at him because he is maybe 3 feet tall. Does a 21 hit?
That one does hit.
With disadvantage because it's in darkness.
The darkness went away.
I took the darkness away.
Yeah. So there's math here, and I'm not using an auto roller. Okay. That is a whopping 6 piercing damage. As he is able to kind of slice. He was going for the ankle, and you half dodged, and just your shin is now bleeding pretty good.
Gotcha.
That is what these kobolds do. Is they're fucking ankle biters. Let's see. And next is going to be the shaman. And he is just fucking angry. And he is going to look between you all. And he's going to cast heat metal on Xander's blade. Because he's now seen that there are 2 of you, and one of them has started bleeding. So,
Okay.
let me see. Heat metal. Hold on. There's a stat block. So, any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell. So you see him kind of like doing this little hop thing between his 2 feet, just going and points at Xander. Let's see here. You take 4 fire damage, and you need to succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object.
All right. Con saving throw.
Yes.
20.
Yeah, you are able, if you would like, to continue holding this, but you are going to continue to take damage each turn.
Okay. Is it my turn or his turn that I take damage?
It'll be on his turn.
Okay. Okay.
Is it? If it doesn't drop the object. Oh, if it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn.
Got you.
So you also have disadvantage now. Sorry.
That's
Shaman
fine.
does not like you. Shaman does not like you. Also, at the end of his turn, the chief is going to use a legendary action. That's right. This kobold has legendary actions. And he is going to use bucket sand. I need a dexterity saving throw, or Xander is blinded until the end of his next turn.
Surprise! No one ever sees the sand coming.
21.
21, yeah. He did not realize you were this dexterous as you see him kind of scoop with his offhand, into some of the ashes of the fire, and it's not as effective as if he had just thrown gravel or something into your eyes, and it does not work.
I growl slightly at him doing that.
You are fighting kobolds, sir. You are fighting kobolds.
But the dragon messiah does not take kindly.
If you notice, they did not really lay out any rules.
That's fine.
So, Zeroka, your turn.
All right. Zoroka's gonna fly up, and he's going to start making his way to the kobold.
So by up, the ceiling is maybe 6 feet at the highest in the middle over here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Please
you
hit
are
your
in
head.
a kobold lair.
Please hit your head.
Let's see.
I will let you change your mind. Because
Which one is the real one? This Xander, you're right here.
The bottom, the bottom ones. Yes. But I also need to make a concentration saving throw real quick.
Okay.
Sorry, I just realized I needed to do that. So it would be 10 plus. I forget how concentration works. It's a con save
4
plus the damage.
Yeah, usually I think it's like 4, so like a 14.
Yeah.
All right.
My call's gone anyways.
Okay.
Oof. That's rough, buddy.
Fine.
So, since we're flaking this guy, I am actually going to attack him twice. Once with my regular sword, and I'm going to use my bonus action to attack him with my other sword.
Hell yeah. Roll them bones.
Will do. Short sword attack. 1 second. Because I have elven accuracy. I roll 3 dice. So I take the highest, 25.
Jeez. So that's double advantage, basically?
That's essentially what elven accuracy is, yes.
Yeah,
so
a 25 hits.
All right. And that is going to be 7 points of damage. I then take out my other short sword, my offhand, and I attack him as well. That's a 15 hit.
Not great.
Nope. So that first attack hits as you go in, but he kind of whips his shield around on that last attack and is able to block that. He seems to be pretty experienced in battle, and he is going... Oh, go ahead. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's it.
All right. At the end of your turn, he's going to use another legendary action. He's going to use the action Stabby, where he makes 1 melee attack, and he is going to... let me see. Xander will be odds again, and Zeroka will be even. Odd again. With another 1. He's going to make a stabby attack at you. But I don't think a 15 hits.
It does not.
Xander. Okay. Yeah. He kind of sweeps around and he's distracted trying to continue to block Zeroka, and the hit does not land. But it is Xander's turn. You are now flanking Orto, so that gets rid of the disadvantage, but you do not get advantage. So you
that's fine. I'm just as a free action, I am just going to drop that sword. So I am no longer
totally
holding
fair.
it. And then I am going to draw my rapier with my bonus action. And we'll attack with beer.
All right.
So 23.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, it's doing all the extra shit. So let me. Okay, so it will be 10 damage and 10 damage, so 20 damage total.
Wait, do you get sneak attack if
you have advantage?
But you don't have advantage because you would. No, you dropped it, so now you do have advantage. You're right.
Yes.
Well, wouldn't you have advantage because I'm also flanking the guy?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why I have advantage.
Yep.
Yeah. So 20 fucking damage in 1 hit. You got it. As you whip out this rapier, and he was distracted for just a moment, thinking you might fling this red hot sword at him or something, and he does not get his shield back up to block in time as you get a good hit in on the chief with that 20 damage. And he is starting to bleed a little bit.
Cool. I could move. I am just going to put. Nah, I'll stay. I'll stay put. This is fine. That's my turn.
Okay. On Orto's turn, he is kind of flanked here and not the biggest fan of that. He is going to take one little step back, but not get out of your range there. So we can see the two of you a little bit better. And he is going to start his first attack on. We'll mix it up. He's going to attack Zaroka this time. Does a 16 hit?
No, AC's 20.
Jeez. Oh yeah, Blade Song. I was like, fucking
Yeah.
20 AC for a wizard. Yep. Yeah. So a 17 doesn't hit either, as he is going in and desperately trying to attack you, but it is not working. On Nodru's turn, he is going to look extremely frustrated with this. He's going to use well, he's going to drop heat metal because he no longer needs that. But what he is going to use is no, he's going to he's going to say something in it's just like a really random word to Orto before the end of his turn, and you're not quite sure what it is, but he's kind of stepping back just a smidge, and then he is going to cast Flaming Sphere right next to the both of you. So you are both within this little Flaming Spheres area. So a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within range and lasts for the duration. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw. Oh, it's the end. This is fine. Yeah. So that is a big old flaming sphere, and if you do not get out of its way, it's going to start hurting you.
Tiny little feet.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 5 whole feet. Boom. There we go. 5 whole feet. And legendary action time, because he's got legendary actions restocked now. He is going to attack Zaroka because he's frustrated with you now. And that is a 15, which again does not hit. Jeez. I should have beefed him up. I really should have beefed him up more. Because I thought more of you were going to participate, so it wasn't even going to be these two that were the ones you had to worry about. I had another one coming in that was going to be beefy one. This is about honor.
Whoops.
And ability. Yeah. So
the Dragon Messiah accomplished something, all right?
You did by keeping Ms. and Kaylin kind of out of it. You prevented their bruiser from coming in, essentially.
Good. Good.
Because this is personal for the shaman and the chief, and they're not going to cheat much. Zaroka.
Much.
They are still kobolds.
All right. So Zaroka is going to move right here and smile at the chief. I mean, at the chief. Sorry, at the wizard kobold. But he's not going to attack him. He looks and he conjures up his shadow blade and looks at this individual right here, and he will. And that is a bonus action, and he will attack with it.
All right. Give me some shadow blading on Chief Orto.
I was like, Shadow Blade, Soul Fist.
Let's see. So Shadow Blade. I'm just going to attack normally with my sword because I don't see it on here. So it uses the same hit DC as my sword. So I'm just gonna...
Hey.
Yeah.
So
God damn, these multiple, like, you keep rolling to the same things.
Yep. And that is
Yeah.
going to be 13 points of damage plus it's 13. Sorry, yeah, it's just 2d8. So 13 points of damage.
All right. Y'all are rolling real good today. You slice at him with this newly conjured shadow blade, and the chief was not ready for a new weapon to appear and start, attacking him. So he is definitely getting a little bit bloodier at this point. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
All right. He is going to the end of your turn. He's going to use another legendary action. And he's going to try pocket sand at Zeroka this time. So I need you to make a dex save.
Okay. I do. Let me see something. I think it's just a dexterity checks. With the. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. You said dexterity checks, right?
No, this is a saving throw.
Saving throw. Okay. All right. Let's see what I get.
Everybody, no whammies, no whammies. That's pretty good.
17.
Yep. You were ready for it. You'd seen him scoop. You saw his fingers twitch before he even went down, and you are able to kind of move away without smashing your head on the ceiling here.
Nice.
So, Xander, it is your turn.
All right, Xander is going to stay where he is to attack. So rapier attack, 20 to hit.
Yeah, 20 hits.
For 21 damage.
Jeez Louise. This guy is fucking, third round in. You see him just coughing up blood at this point as you're able to kind of like get in from your higher vantage point underneath his armor.
Is it because they have the high ground?
Yes, but their ankles are in trouble, okay?
Okay, so you know that feeling you just had? That's how I feel. I'm
Damn. Can't relate.
You and your puns.
So he's still up?
He is still up, but looking bad.
Gotcha. All right, well then, if I still had my other weapon, I could possibly try and finish him off, but I don't have it. Fucking shaman bitch. Nah.
Which is why you always have an emergency dagger.
Yeah, I'm going to. I mean, I have a dagger, but like my other weapon lets me make a bonus attack, an extra attack as a bonus attack. So bonus. But no, as a bonus action, I will disengage so I do not provoke, and will come here and then here. Actually, I'll go ahead and get behind the shaman, and that'll be my turn.
All right. It is the chief's turn. He is not doing great. He's gonna kind of, let's see, you are back there now. He's gonna go ahead and take a little steppy step this way so that the shaman is kind of flanking and try to take a couple swings at Zeroka here. Nope, a 19 doesn't fucking hit because apparently I can't roll. So, this is fucking fine. Another 19. So,
For what it's worth, I'm glad you got those 19s out on him and not on me.
Yeah, in my head I was like, hold on. Xander would be the smarter one to attack, but I was like, nope, I already moved him towards Zeroka. But you do see the chief kind of look back and up further down this hall, and it's hard to see exactly what is down there because of all of the kobolds, but you do hear him kind of choke out, "Goo-grow!" And then you see, well, Xander doesn't see. Zeroka hears the scurrying of all of the kobolds fleeing from that hallway. And it is the shaman's turn. And he is going to... Gosh, you went and put yourself somewhere where it is very difficult to put the fucking flaming sphere and hurt you. How dare you use smart tactics and stuff like that? He's gonna cure wounds on the chief. That is what he is going to do. Let's see here. What is that? A D8 plus spellcasting. So 8, 4 plus his spellcasting. Okay, so you see many of his wounds start closing back up. Not all of them. He is still, he's still taking a lot of damage. But this cure wounds really did him good. And at the end of his turn, it's gonna do a legendary action. He is going to make a stabby at Zeroka. Because, he's been doing so fucking good at that. Dirty 20. Finally. One hit. He got
shield.
one whole shield.
Do it.
That
I know you better have shield.
So
it.
Wait, is it a natural 20 or is it a dirty 20 you said?
Dirty 20.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely shield. I'm definitely going to block that.
Yes!
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Abby just sounds so defeated right now.
This is fair.
Real.
This is karma for all the bullshit that I do as a player, so this is fucking fair.
I'm so defeated.
He is so sure that he is going for your ankle and he is fast as fuck boy, and then it just bounces off this magical barrier that appears at the very last second, and he just yells in anger.
Zeroka smiles profusely.
Top of the order, it is Zeroka's turn.
He sounds big angry.
They're angry.
Zeroka kind of smiles, and then he actually takes out his short sword for his main weapon, while holding the shadow blade in his offhand weapon, and he's going to attack him once with a normal attack with the short sword. So let's see, the short sword, does that hit? That is a 13, and I'm pretty sure that does not hit.
Nope.
He attack him with advantage because Shadow Blade gives you advantage in dim light areas.
That's fucking
you
cool.
Are. Let me see, how far does because you're next to this little fire.
If I need to move, so fire's yeah.
Oh, my little.
That's actually bright light.
Yeah, so it's bigger than a torch, and torch gives 20 feet of bright light and 20 feet of dim light. So you are technically within bright light. And
okay, so I'm just gonna just attack him normally then with my shadow blade. Let's see if it hits. 15 doesn't hit, right?
No, he is armored and shielded.
Okay.
Sore loser.
And I will move right here. And I have mobile, so he doesn't have an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna hold.
Well, actually, can I retroactively change that? Can I move here?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna do that.
You move there, and he's gonna use a legendary action. He has not seen the spell shield before, you can tell, because he does attack you again. Because I feel like these little kobolds out here in the boonies, that is a natural fucking one. So
Does he swing so hard he falls into the fire?
Some of the ash that was on his hand, as he lunges forward with this swing, kind of gets into one of his eyes, and he has to blink it away for a second. And it has affected his pride a little bit. Xander.
Xander is gonna go like he's gonna start like ominously hovering over this shaman like from behind, just like he's in the shadows of the cave from on the wall of the from the light, so like the light's hitting him just right where like the shadows like his eyes and everything. It looks fucking terrifying to see the Dragon Messiah in this light. And he's just gonna be like, "You've blasphemed on the dragons too long," and is going to attack this guy, this shaman, with advantage. 24.
Ooh.
Yeah, that absolutely hits this little dude that's wearing fucking bark for armor, feathers, and little clacky skull.
All right, so that's what I've done thus far. That is only 12 damage.
12 damage. All right.
Yes.
Anything else on your turn?
As a bonus action, I will disengage again. And will... Is the flame sphere still there?
Yeah, he did not drop concentration. Let me have him make a con check, actually. It is not there.
It is not there. Gotcha.
I switched dice, and those are still dog shit.
So yeah, he is going to move here, and he's going to scoop down and pick up his Revenant Blade again.
It's still going to be hot.
Oh, is it still hot?
I would imagine something that was just red hot.
Okay.
How long does it say how long? Hold on, because there's no way this has not been argued before.
It's a concentration spell as well.
Yeah, but once something is physically hot, like it's not a magical heat, right? Is it?
I mean,
I think it is.
I think
okay, so it just is suddenly cool again when it's dropped?
You want me to go look it up and you do the thing?
I mean, per raw, I mean, I think it's saying that it does damage while it's hot, and then over it no longer does damage. But
yeah, I'm gonna say it's magical heat, so it would have dropped when he dropped the spell. But we can figure that out later. So yeah, you pick back up your sword. It's probably still toasty, okay, nice and warm. You know, it's a little chilly in this cave. It feels good on your hand.
Yeah, I like it. I feel
it's comforting.
Yeah.
Comforting weapon.
It reminds me of home. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Where you're trying to send these little kobolds.
No. Oh, no. We'll kill these guys.
So, an argument I have found for heat metal is it lasts for up to a minute. The caster can use a bonus action to cause additional damage each round. So I would safely assume that it's still hot, but because he dropped the spell, he can't exactly cause damage with it anymore.
That's fair. I like that. Okay. Let's go with that. Just nice and toasty. He's got it all warmed up for you.
I pull out a marshmallow and I put it to the...
Yeah.
Start toasting
cooling
the
off,
marshmallow.
but by the end of the fight.
All right, that's my turn.
Okay, back to the top with Orto. Let's see here. So he is obviously frustrated with this and going to attack Xander instead because he is making no headway with fucking Soroka. I cannot read this dice. Okay, that is a 21 to hit.
That does hit.
Rutro Raggy.
All right.
I cast shield. I'm just kidding.
Jeez Louise. Y'all are killing me. So that is 10 piercing damage for Xander. Second attack. Yeah, I don't think a 14 hits.
That does miss.
He got one attack in.
Does he feel powerful again?
What he's gonna do next is kind of hop right there and end his turn by yelling, "Gugro, do it!" And you look north, and you see and hear a fizzling sound, and you realize Soroka, pointed at you down this hallway, is a lit cannon.
Oh my god!
It's like, wait, are they cheating? Are they adding more people than just them?
Oh, absolutely. They never said other people couldn't interfere. They set no rules except for what happens with who wins and who loses.
I said it was fun too.
Does that mean that Stabby and I can make, at the very least, initiative
Please
checks
shoot that
to
at
see
me.
where we would land in case once we need to jump in?
Yes. So the good part is you realize as it fires at you, it only got a 15. So it does not technically hit you. Because it kind of goes wide up, like it was pointed dead on at you. It should have hit you. But you realize this is not a brand new cannon. This is a kobold has rescued a scrap cannon and tried to make it work cannon. And now that whole area is kind of filled with like this dark smoke, and Gugro starts like coughing, trying to find more balls to like load it up with. And the cannonball just kind of went high, hit the ceiling about halfway, and then kind of went boop, 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 brrr, and rolled down and, kind of booped you in the foot, but it had slowed down enough that you also see the cannonball is no longer around. That should not happen. But yes, they're cheating. It is the shaman's turn. He is still angry about life in general. So he is going to.
That's what happens when you're that. You just
Yeah.
fuck life, man.
I mean, I guess I don't know.
happy.
He is going to cast Shillelagh on his little bone club that he pulls out, and try to. Let's see here. Zeroka is the closest one, so he's gonna try to bonk Zeroka. But, I don't think a 10 is gonna fucking hit.
Oh no, hang on. Zoka, does that hit?
No.
Oh,
You see
shit,
him
I
do
thought
this,
it
like,
might.
chant some crazy words and some kind of kobold gibberish. His club begins to glow, and I imagine Zeroka is just kind of staring down at him as he just boom bounces off your shield. But end of your turn, legendary action end of his turn, legendary action. He's gonna try a stabby on Xander. That is a 24 to hit. Thank God, finally rolling better.
That's misses, now it hits.
Alrighty, so that is math. 9 piercing damage with his stabby.
Great.
They take solace in this fact.
You can call us in at any time. Also, you have a potion.
It's true. I do.
Top of the initiative, Zeroka. Our silly little fight.
Zeroka then looks at like both of them, and he, in the middle of the fight, he screams out,
"So, you two like to play dirty? I'll show you dirty."
And Zeroka takes out, like, he then goes in for a swing at the kobold right here, like the wizard kobold with his shadow blade, the shaman with the shadow blade. So he's going to attack him with the shadow blades, and he will miss, and he will actually then Misty, let's see. There's no point. Does it look like they're gearing up for another one of those cannonballs?
It is very, very hard to tell. So that whole area up there is now filled with black smoke. They are not geniuses, and these caves are not the best for ventilation. So it is not going anywhere. You hear scurrying up there, but it is hard to tell. But there's a lot of coughing, to the point where you imagine it's going to take him a minute. Not a full minute, maybe, but like, he's struggling.
Okay, so then with my main hand weapon, I'm actually just going to attack the shaman dude right here in front of me. So let's see that short sword. 19.
There we go.
That absolutely hits.
9 points of damage.
Absolutely. You
And-
see chunks of his bark armor go flying off.
And Zoroka will then move right here.
He does
And
get
he-
an attack of opportunity unless you have something.
What? I have mobile, remember?
Mobile. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I knew there was
so
something. I knew there was something. I was like, I'm forgetting something. That was what I forgot.
And then he then looks at Miz and Kaylin, and he just nods his head and says, "Have fun."
Ms. and Kaylin, roll me some initiative.
Oh boy, howdy. If don't forget to select your token to have the dice roller actually save you. That puts. I'll go after.
Oof.
With advantage, you rolled 2 1s.
Damn it, dude.
Oof.
He rolled 2 1s.
Oh my
Damn.
god!
The streak of bad rolls from last session continues.
Poor Ms.
But he's still ahead of the shaman.
The shaman with his 4 in the initiative. It's fine.
Thank God for that +9.
Plus
All
9
right.
initiative. Oh my god.
Xander.
Xander is going to. Xander is going to stand perfectly still, taking the steady aim action as his bonus action, giving him advantage until on my next attack roll. And I'm going to attack this chief.
All right.
15.
15 does not hit.
Can I use inspiration even though I've already used advantage? I already had a.
You know what? Yeah, if you want to use an inspiration on this attack, do it. I'll give
Cool.
you advantage with the inspiration because you used it on a roll with advantage.
Cool.
Feeling generous, even though you're steamrolling my poor little kobolds. Do it.
So let me.
started
Yeah, but what's their idea?
I know, but I also don't want the combat to take up the entire.
That's better. 26.
There you go. Give me that damage.
Oh wait, that is ignore that. That was not the right weapon. I
19.
would have been better to state. Yes. Yeah. 19. I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, 19.
All right. Hold on. Let me do math because I cannot do it in my head. So the chief is looking pretty rough. He is about in the range before he got healed. You see him kind of take that hit, flinch backwards, and a little bit of blood kind of. It's not over yet. Anything else on your turn?
I don't think so. I think that's gonna pretty much be my turn.
All right. End of your turn. The chief is going to use another legendary action. Try another stabby at you. That is a 15 to hit, which I don't
Nope.
think hits. All right. Burn another legendary action. Kaylin, what would you like to do? You are back in this little tunnel area, about 20-ish feet. 20-something.
Sigh heavily. All right. And she's just going to 5 and just kind of from around the side of of Soroka, just and toss out Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
On Tay Shaman, non-lethal damage, please.
Okay.
I'm saying it, non-lethal damage. Ooh, natural 19 plus so 6 is 25.
I'm glad you called non-lethal. I'm real glad you called non-lethal because you see the shaman kind of gasp and just as he's just blasted back into the wall behind him from this eldritch blast. And you see him slide down the wall. His little skull helmet thing that he had just cracked. His bark armor and some of the teeth on one of his necklaces just littering the floor now.
He's still breathing though, right?
It is hard to tell. You just knocked the fucking wind out of him at the very least. He's twitching.
Cool.
Nice.
And Kalen is just going to turn to the chief. If you are going to play by these rules, then we shall do as well. Have at thee. And that is going to end her turn.
Okay. Orto's kind of looking between everyone, and he's looking a little panicky now. He's gonna say, well, at least I can take down some of you. And he's gonna try to attack Xander some more, because he knows he's beat, but he's fucking petty.
I mean, I can appreciate that.
Dirty 20 to hit.
We need not fight anymore, my friend. Yeah, it hits.
That is 8 piercing damage on that first attack.
Ooh.
That is a 15 on the...
15 misses.
15 misses.
Ooh, how
no,
close are you?
I'm looking at your HP there.
I was about to say, y'all should be able to see my HP.
Yeah, that's helpful. He looks upset. He's kind of glancing at the shaman, and you hear some of the kobolds that had fled earlier kind of skittering around, and they look like they are kind of waiting on the signal to rejoin, but the chief has not given them the signal. They have not rejoined just yet. And it is Mrs. turn.
Now, I can't see the distance between me and Zeroka, or I can't see the corridor to get there. If I were to shoot an arrow from here, I'm assuming I have disadvantage now. Or do I even have a line of sight?
You do not have a line of sight. You would need to move down. You really don't have a good shot because of how narrow and twisty all of these tunnels are. I mean,
all right.
You would really struggle. What you can do is warn Zeroka and Kaylin, hold your action, and then shoot once they duck if you want.
I am just going to shoot. I'm going to shoot in that general direction. I see Kaylin, but there's still like a little path between Kaylin and Zeroka that I can't actually see because, I don't have dark vision. So I'm assuming I have a line of sight.
Because you have dark vision, you should be able to see because there's a fire next to him.
Yeah, there's a fire.
Oh, I was talking about like in the middle between you two. There's still like a little dark spot, so I assume like...
So this would be like some kind of crazy trick shot. Also, the chief is way smaller than Zeroka, so you are...
That's perfectly fine. I'm assuming I'll get disadvantage on that. I still want to shoot.
Okay.
if I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
He's about to curve this arrow like it's blood.
I'm going to tell you, I think it would be... You know what? No, just on a natural one, you're probably going to hit Zeroka, but go ahead.
I am okay with that.
Okay. I have called it. You've got disadvantage, a natural one, hits Zeroka instead.
Okay.
So almost a natural one.
Yeah, I almost said a 1 or a 2, but I didn't want to be mean.
Oof.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
with that
nice.
8 to hit with the disadvantage, Zeroka, you hear and feel an arrow go right past your ear. Like you feel like if you had been 1 inch to the right, you would have gotten a new ear piercing. As this arrow flies right next to your head. Anything else on Mrs. turn?
I'm gonna back up to where I was originally and then my turn.
Okay. I said I wasn't feeling mean, but Ordo does have more legendary actions. And he's gonna do another stabby at Xander. He is determined. He is a petty boy. That is cocked. Hold on. That is a 18 to hit.
Just enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna roll my happy little watermelon D8. A.
Actually, 1 second. Okay, no, it does count that. Never mind. Go ahead.
That's 4 damage.
Ah, there it is.
I was right that it was gonna roll bad, but it rolled a 2 still. And
So Xander is down.
he gets that last little petty stab. He sees Xander kind of stagger back and topple as he gets this last good hit. Then he's going to, as a free action, he's going to drop his sword and hold his hands up and say, "You got it. You win." What does everyone want to do? It would be Zeroka's turn next, but he is just surrendered.
At this point, Zeroka will then look at the kobold and he says to him,
Do you have any more tricks up your sleeve?
I mean, of course we do. Kobolds have many tricks.
Good.
But I will
Good.
tell my people to not attack yours.
Zeroka, then his eyebrow goes up.
And we have your word?
My people will not attack you. If you want the dragons, you can go back. It is the first entrance on the left. Just do not harm any of my people for my trickery.
Zeroka looks over to Miz and Kaylin for approval.
I'm not even there. I'm around the corner.
Miz, the fight is over. Come back.
He's gonna step back, kind of step out of the way. Just kind of looking a little defeated, but he does not touch the sword that he dropped, and he does not appear to have a backup weapon.
Kaylin is going to go over to the shaman and make a medicine check to make sure he's not actually dead.
And Zeroka will start slapping Xander in the face to wake up.
He's conscious, like with zero right to slap him.
I love.
Two kinds
So
of people.
Let's take a moment to pause and appreciate the dynamic here. Kaylin walks right past her downed ally, her teammate, party member, to go to the enemy shaman that has so adamantly been opposed to everything that you are here to accomplish, and checks on him. And then Zeroka starts slapping his unconscious, bleeding teammate.
Messiah.
The Messiah.
Excuse you, we were told that we weren't supposed to kill any of them, and Kaylin trying to make sure that she didn't. like if he dies, there's a potion in his pocket. We could drop it in his mouth in a second. But if we kill this dude, I'm gonna get in trouble because I was the one who did it. Absolutely
it was
not.
honorable combat. If he dies, he dies.
Oh my god! But the thing is, don't forget, I'm on a never-ending petty quest with Jess. I am determined to. When they're like, you're not allowed to kill things, it's like, well, fuck me. All right. So no, she is determined to do as much of this non-murdery as possible. Not non-violently, non-murdery. Those are two different things.
Well, you did a lot of damage over the amount of the HP that he had remaining, but you did not double his total HP and damage. So he is making death saves, and it's not looking great for him.
Hence the
You
medicine
see
check.
Yep, that medicine check shows a huge fucking wound. Looks like you probably cracked open the back of his skull when he hit this wall. He's not dead, but the wind has been knocked out of him, and he is bleeding heavily. He's a little kobold. He doesn't have that much blood.
Kayla's gonna turn to the chief. Is there anyone else here who was a healer besides this one? I think I hit him a little too hard.
No, he was our only healer.
Kayla's gonna pull the potion out of her pocket and put it in her mouth.
The reluctant healer.
In every game I play, I'm always fucking reluctant. It's like, no, I'd rather just punch you in the face and make you go unconscious. But no, I'm trying to be a good person because the petty is strong.
Cleric life.
Yo, I am always the saltiest fucking healer, man. It is in fact my curse to bear.
Yeah, you pour this potion down his throat, and he starts kind of like sputtering and is slowly beginning to regain consciousness, and you kind of see his eyes going in multiple directions, kind of swirling around. But he is alive, and Orto is reluctantly stepping over and just like, let them pass. And you hear scurrying and whispers as all of the other kobolds begin to slowly get out of your way. Do you make a medicine check with disadvantage on Xander for Zeroka?
Sure.
Just feed me my
If you get like a
potion.
natural 20. Okay, I was going to say if you get a natural 20, it actually does something.
So, okay.
With the 10, he's bleeding. his shins are shredded.
Isn't he supposed to be stabilized though with 10s?
Yeah, he'll be stabilized, but his poor shins, his ankles,
What?
they have seen better days.
Can I pick him up over my shoulder?
Just heal me. What the fuck?
With what?
I have a
with.
potion in my pocket.
I don't know that.
You do.
Roll a history
You're
check to see if you
stabilized.
remember who got the potions at the start of your mission.
Let's see. Oh, I don't know shit.
That was a long
Zeroka just
time
picks him
ago.
up.
There's been like 2 whole combats between then and now, and you had to put up with a lot of kobolds today. You are not thinking.
So Zeroka is gonna just grab Xander's body. He looks at the other two, whoop, and he says in his deep dragon voice,
Let's pick up the dragon and let's go.
Don't we all have potions individually?
"Do we?"
I think we did give
Did
them
I give
all.
everyone potions?
I
can't
thought
remember
you
if you
did.
got 3 or 4 at the beginning of each one. Let me look at your mission what's it? Did you actually get one for this?
I thought we had. I know. I never used the one I had from the beginning.
Yeah, I've definitely still got one in my inventory.
Yeah, but we don't know where it is in your pocket, so it's like.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, I've still got mine. So.
I mean, so I think I either gave you all 3 or 4. So they're not going to stack. So like if you don't use one, they kind of like check with you when you're getting your gear that you requisition, and it's kind of an honor system to an extent. Because they might be less generous in the future if anyone starts abusing it. So everyone kind of shames everyone else into not abusing it. So you end up with the same number without stacking them at the beginning of each mission, as long as it is through the guild. So, I mean, Kaylin has used up her potion. It is up to Ms. and Zeroka if they want to use their potions. Or if you would remember if you had them, because, a lot's happened today.
I'll roll a history check. If I remember, I'll give it to him. Do I remember?
You remember? You're pretty sure you got one. Which pocket it's in might take you a second. It's up to you. It's up to you if you feel like it's worth the effort.
I hate everybody. I hate everyone.
Xander's unconscious.
I at least remembered some of that. God.
You also ran over my unconscious body to the enemy.
See, this is why I leave you dead. You bastard. This is why you are currently unconscious.
Yeah, Zeroka's gonna look at Xander. Yeah, he's so I mean, I guess is Xander. I mean, do you really want to use? You said potions don't stack, Abby, right?
They don't stack, but you get fresh ones for each mission. So you're not going to go and acquire a brand new one for free if you're not going on a mission. You can buy them at wholesale price, so a little bit cheaper than you could get them at a normal store.
Well, I failed my history check unless you give me another one.
I mean, you can do another history check. Maybe you see a weird bulge. Yeah, do another. Do a perception check. As you wonder what the bulge in his pocket is, because you're like, okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is that a potion or just excited to see me?
He keeps it still when he's unconscious? Oh my god.
You underestimated Xander's Prowess.
Yeah, you see a bulge in his pocket, and you're like, "There's no way." There's no way.
Let me. So I'll do a history check this time, and then I'm like, oh, okay. I then set him down. I dig in his pocket. I take his potion and I pop it in his mouth.
Yep. Go ahead and roll. What is it? 44 plus 4 or something. You should have it in your inventory, and it should.
Yeah, I
tell
got
you.
it. Hang on.
Is it on my little DM screen?
It's in my inventory somewhere. Where's that? I
I thought it was 2d4 plus 4.
Is it 2d4?
What the fuck is it? I just saw it.
So the max it can heal for is 10, so it's 2d like 4 plus 2.
Okay.
Or it should. Or is that right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, it's not healing. There it is. Okay, sorry. It's
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You would think, as eponymous as that thing actually is, that we would just know what it is off rip by this point.
Right.
Yeah,
We're like,
and you
no.
would think it would be on my DM screen because I'm looking and I'm just not seeing it on there. I'm gonna have to make a sticky note. Yep, I'm gonna need a sticky note for later. Yeah. So you heal him for how much?
Xander rolling or me?
I can roll it.
I can roll it. Like it's his potion.
Yeah.
I heal for 6.
Hey, you regain consciousness. Your ankles still hurt like fuck. Man, your portions. But you are conscious and alive. In this cavern that is slowly getting filled with the edges of that black smoke, and you hear the kobolds coughing as it is just very slowly some of the edges of it drifting down the hallway, and it just smells awful. But it doesn't hurt anyone.
I will stand up and begin brushing myself off and just be like, "You are quite formidable, my chief," and I will kind of bow ahead to him.
You are no pushover yourself. I suppose if the dragons are going to go with someone, it's not the worst case scenario. Perhaps your dragon overlords have in fact blessed you. Maybe not enough that I was able to take you down, and I will take solace in that fact. Xander, you have returned to consciousness and seen Kaylin over the shaman with an empty potion bottle in her hand, reviving him, knowing she definitely probably stepped over you to get there. But
You are trying to make this happen so much.
Shh. You know what? Give me a perception check, Xander. How about that?
17.
Oh yeah, you fucking 17. Yeah. 2 plus 2 makes 4 here.
You're trying to make fetch happen. Okay.
It would be funny, but also you do know that your other allies have presumably helped you up. You know nothing of their fumbling around with you first.
The phrasing.
It was the Roka that actually got me up, though, right?
I believe so.
Yep.
Yes. Xander just stands up, puts a hand on Soroka's shoulder, and goes, "When the revolution comes, you'll be the last against the wall."
Damn.
Wait, why would he say that?
It was a joke.
No. I was like, if he actually says that, I was like, how would he know? How does he know?
Sitting here like, I would like to know about this revolution as the DM.
Kayla's gonna turn. Oh, good, you're awake. Congratulations. We're not going to get in trouble later because we didn't kill anybody.
Well, good luck on getting the dragons to not kill you is going to be your next problem. I'm not going to be able to help with that. They're a little bit feisty sometimes. With the lightning breath and all of that, but you're the dragon messiah and apprentice, so
Indeed.
I'm sure it won't be any problem for any of
you. Indeed. And Xander will start walking towards he had said.
Okay. You walk up and you see that there was definitely another trap set up here, as there is a giant log on ropes ready to be swung to smash you in a certain part of the hallway, but it looks like it is dangling now. Nobody is pulling it, holding it in a way that it would trigger and hurt you, though you see some of their fingers kind of twitching like they really fucking want to.
That's what I want. I want to hurt these guys. That's what I hurt them.
Yeah, so you... Anyone else going with Xander?
Someone will follow.
Yeah, I'll follow
While
as well.
also subtly grabbing onto Miz.
I'm gonna go last since, again, trouble seeing. I'm gonna go
Wait,
last.
I mean, you should see the fire, though. There's still a fire.
I can,
Well,
yeah, I can
you're
see
good. You're good
We're
until
going to
you
a
round the
corridor.
corner.
Yeah, we're going to a corridor, so I'll be
Well,
blind.
there's going to be other light up there. I promise.
That's true, but I'm still gonna be last.
That is fair.
Hence why Kaelin is the one towing him along.
The kobolds have all kind of moved out of your way. Xander leading the way. You see that there is almost what is like a repurposed throne room, and you see, kind of to the left and right of you as you move in, there are like big stacks of like firewood and some other debris. There are some candelabras that are lit, providing low light in this room. Looks like there was some food cooking on a fire kind of off to the left, but you do see the few kobolds that have kind of come into that room, as you kind of squeeze past that log with no issue. They are all kind of ducking. But the main thing that you see is this huge statue of a dragon's head. And on either side of it, attached to the wall by very long chains, are two baby bronze dragons. They're a little bit bigger than the green dragons were. And unlike the green dragons, they look very healthy. Their eyes are bright, their scales are shiny, they appear to be well fed, well taken care of. They are alert, they are eyeballing the fuck out of you, and the kind of bigger one steps a little bit further forward, and you can see that the chain is about 10-15 feet long. So there's some movement, they've got some range, and the chains are not tight enough to choke them or anything like that. They appear to be posh, well-kept pets in a way. What do you do?
How close are all the kobolds to us?
Most of them, there's a handful that have kind of stayed in the hallway. Most of the smoke from the exploded cannonball has kind of settled a little bit lower to the ground, so you're able to see pretty well. They're eyeballing you, grumbling, making little comments among themselves.
Are they close enough to hear me if I were to...
The dragons or the kobolds?
The kobolds.
You are surrounded by kobolds in an echoey cavern.
Kaelin is just going to it's a sending stone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's just gonna grab the sending stone and just go, boss lady, whenever you're ready, now is the best time to send her.
Who are you messaging?
She's calling Henga.
Okay.
But she's not just actively saying her name.
Zaroka is actually going to, before she even finishes that sentence, Zaroka actually puts up a hand and says, "Let's do this outside."
Yeah, we need to get these. We need to get these guys out of here.
Yes. You go ahead and try that.
Okay. Xander steps forward and step forward slowly, very, very passively.
I will say, as you do that, the kobolds start ducking behind things as you do that.
Okay. You will see in Draconic. Hello, my friends. We mean you no harm. We are actually here to get out of this cave. We want to beautiful hills and majestic skies to love.
Can I actually make a history check? Do bronze dragons actually like
a
Oh no, you went full robo. You said something about majestic hills and then the rest cut out. But yeah, Caitlin, you were wanting to make a history check about hills?
No, if bronze even like open skies and hills, or do they actually prefer the caves?
Yeah, make a history check. And then Ian, I'm gonna need you to repeat what you were saying.
Yeah, because the reason why I started talking is I didn't hear you as you stopped. Oh, that's another natural fucking 19. So that's 21.
Okay.
Getting my back at all.
Now you're good. Go while you have internet.
No, he was just saying this. Just wants to get them out, and he introduces himself, and that he is just here to help them, get them to back with their own kind, to get out of these caves and to the hills that they love. And for what it's worth, I know my dragon.
Yeah, and with Kaylin's history check, I mean, pretty much all dragons like open air. Bronze dragons are coastal dragons, so they love the open oceans, beaches, things like that. Coastal caves is usually where they live. But I don't think any dragon hates the open air. So it's a good tool, good thing, key phrase there. The dragons kind of look at each other, and the bigger one says, "Right. Well, you're not the first people that have come here trying to say things like that. What makes you different? Also, why are you all bloody?"
We had to prove to your current captors we were more than capable of protecting you, and we proved to be their greater, and we just wish to help protect you. And
you look like you lost.
Well, we did not. We would not be here if we had lost. But this, as I said, we are trying to get you with more of your own kind. We saved real quick history check. The 2 green dragons we saved, they didn't have name.
No, they were coming up with names.
Yeah. What was the names they ended up coming up with?
Did y'all come up with them, or were you letting me pick them?
I think letting you pick them.
Yeah, I think they were trying to come up with them.
I think the temp names that I had in my head were Moss and Fern.
Yeah. I'll tell them, like, we've just recently liberated 2 of your green brethren, Moss and Fern. They were much like you, very skittish, very paranoid. Not paranoid, but very, unwilling to think that we were there to help them. But I promise you, they are in a much better place with more of their own kind now, and we only wish to do the same for you. Friends, and he kind of like pauses, hesitates a minute, kind of like, or how do I get them to tell him their names?
So you're wanting us to go to a place with chromatic dragons. How is that any safer than here?
All dragons are going to live in harmony in this place.
What's in it for us?
Freedom? Like, you won't be chained to a cave wall?
I want to hear it from someone else. You're all bloody and gross looking.
Xander will cast disguise self on himself to make himself look exactly the way as Owen.
Right. Well, you look like you kind of lost still, but I mean, you have other friends here. I want to hear them and make sure nobody's lying. Because all things considered, they've kept a whole lot of people from, taking us to probably bad places. So it's not the worst thing in the world.
But now they are willing. Now they are willing to allow us to take you. So obviously they see the reason of it. That's okay. My apprentice, Soroka. Please. All I want to speak Draconic, right? We had already established that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
he
in
will.
universe common.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, so he will
Pretty
call
much.
Zoroka up and be like, Zoroka, they wish to hear from another that we wish them no harm and are only here to help them.
Zoroka looks at Xander and places his hand behind his back. And he walks up and he still speaks with his a deep voice. And he says,
Let me ask you, dragons, do you value your freedom? Do you wish to be in a cave such as this? Or do you wish to roam around, frolicking with all the freedom that you need?
They both immediately look scared when you start speaking in that voice. And the bigger one is kind of like slowly backing up, kind of like wings pressed to her side, tail twitching, kind of moving in front of the smaller one who looks to be just like pressing himself back up against the wall.
so they don't even answer.
No, they are watching you and trying to figure you out, but your voice, you can immediately tell you are scaring them with your voice.
I do apologize for my apprentice. He cannot help the way he speaks, but he is just so talented in magic that it has affected his speaking. But I assure you, he speaks true. We only wish to get you to freedom.
And he's not going to hurt us. He sounds scary.
No, he is not going to hurt you. In fact, he is going to be one of the. He is just an idea of how the people that are helping to protect you.
The two little ones kind of look at each other, and you can tell that they are nervous about this and they're unsure. Do Kalen and Miz want to do anything?
Miz just has his arms crossed and he's not really saying anything. He's just kind of.
Kalen, did you want to do anything? You would be able to kind of like see. There's enough light in the room that you would be able to see everything.
Kalen, yet again, just sighs heavily. Yes, I know he is big and he is scary. Unfortunately, that is just a. And she just kind of pats him on the shoulder. That is a service of his voice. It is very good that facilitating in this pilgrimage that we are on, trying to find others like yourselves and give you a home where you are fed, where you are taken care of, where you do not have to worry about people coming to kidnap you and use you for their own bad deeds. Oh my god. No, her name is Granny. I'm moderately certain her name is just Granny.
You've only heard her referred to as Gran. Gran.
Yeah,
like
there
grandma, Granny.
So I have heard nothing but wonderful things about Gran, who is going to be helping to take care of you. Also, more importantly, I understand your concerns about the chromatic dragons. And on any other day, I would agree with you. However, you all have one very important thing in common. You are all dragons, and you are all here. The place is unknown to all, but the ones who go there to protect it. So you will not have to worry about more people showing up to theoretically take you anywhere, because we also do not want to take you anywhere. We would like you to go willingly, and we cannot make you, and therefore we shall not. You are capable of making your own decisions. We are just looking out for your safety.
They seem to perk up at this. They look at each other and they kind of like turn away from you for a moment and are whispering at each other. And there's like some padded chairs there that are kind of absorbing any echo, so you can't really hear what they say. And then they turn back and look at you, and they don't seem to be 100% confident. They keep glancing specifically at Zoroka. But then the littler one, he says, "Okay, We can go. The bigger one nods.
Fantastic. Well, then let me get the keys to chains, and we will get you out of here. And he will call back, be like, Chief, the keys.
Chief kind of hesitantly hobbles in, hands you the key.
Thank you. And Xander will approach. And he will, as he approaches, he will briefly back to, not take this, but stop and look back at Zaroka. Kind of motion for Zaroka to kind of like not leave, but to kind of go closer to the entrance, just to calm these guys down just a little bit. And before continuing forward.
Zaroka actually won't, because he actually needs to talk to these dragons.
Well. All right. So
Did Zaroka remember something?
Yeah, but I don't think he would do it here with all these
individuals.
If he were to, Fredbin were to come, do I know how he was going to talk to them? Do I know how is he gonna like use a sending stone? Is he gonna like, can all these kobolds hear him?
You're not sure. He didn't really specify. But he seems like the kind of guy that would want to come in person. And you've seen him teleport.
Okay, so yeah, Zaroka's just gonna wait until so actually, yeah, he's gonna call him now and actually, so Zaroka would move out of a way where a lot of kobolds can't hear him, and he will message Fredbin.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say this little corner over there is like the best place to go. And Fredbin just immediately answers and says, "Yes, how are you? What can I help with?"
Zaroka then looks at what am I talking to him with actually? Is it a sending stone as well?
It's a sending stone.
Okay, yeah. Zaroka says, "It seems as though we have the situation at hand with the other dragons, the bronze ones. Would you mind teleporting over here and having a word with them? Although you will have to state that you're also an assistant of the Dragon Messiah."
The dragon who?
Yes, I know. I know it's ridiculous, but just say you're associated with them. It's something Xander has pulled off.
Oh dear. Well, I will perhaps just avoid the topic altogether, because I will warn you, I am not good at lying. But I will admit, and hopefully they just won't ask.
Let's both hope.
Give me just a moment and I will teleport over to you.
At once. Thank you.
Caitlin listens to no bitch. So she is, while he's off doing that, she is still promptly going to message Hanga and be like, whoever needs to come should probably do that soon.
Yeah, she said she was coming, but with the teleport and everything, she's probably trying to make sure she knows where you are so she doesn't teleport into like a wall or something.
Hey. But she's just like, again.
Okay.
She don't trust no bitch.
All right. So Xander is doing what?
He's continuing forward to unlatch these is Xander hearing all of this, like, talking on this happening? Like,
let's have a stealth check from Xander, and I don't think, unless Kaylin stepped away,
stealth
it would be quiet,
from
but
Xander?
you would kind of hear. All right, I'm sorry, Zaroka. Y'all with the Z's, my Z boys. Everyone with the Z's.
I'm an X.
Oh, wait,
it's a Z sound. Xander.
Okay. So
yeah, give me stealth with advantage to see if anyone overhears. Huh?
Okay. I was gonna say, where exactly is my character, like, technically still in that big area, or?
No, I kind of moved you into the area with the dragons, but
25.
Yeah, with the 25, you saw him kind of move off to the side and heard him whispering, but he found a spot where it wasn't really echoing, and so you just heard
Got it. I mean, as long as he moved. So he did move aside, kind of whenever I motioned toward him. So that's fine. Xander will continue forward, and if they allow him, he will do like as if like an animal trainer was approaching animals, but will approach and begin to unlatch them as if they allow him.
Yep. You remove the padlock off of the first one, and she kind of shakes herself a little bit like a dog, kind of, moving her neck around, and watches as you unlock the other one. And then they both take off running, trying to sprint past you. They were waiting to be released, and now they are trying to flee. You are dealing with unpredictable babies. Yes. If you want, you can. You cast sleep.
On the they're right here, right?
They are pretty fucking close. Yeah, I mean, you can hit one of them with sleep. Yeah, you would have kind of turned around as you finished your conversation with Fredbin and see them like dart around either side of Xander and make a break for it.
So let me ask you. So you said, okay, so they're just about to try to run out of the cavern and like fly away somewhere, right?
Yeah, they are. They're trying to flee, not realizing how many people are in their way. They are babies with baby logic.
The alternative is to try to catch them just with what is that? Dexterity check. How would you call that?
Yeah. Give me you would. This is like trying to herd cats here. Give me maybe some acrobatics, just dexterity checks, something.
That would be. Yeah, I'm just trying to weigh out my options here. Like it's decision making because.
You are the first line here as you see all of the other kobolds who have been the victim of one way or another. These little babies, dragons, like teeth and or lightning, they are moving the fuck out of the way.
Zeroka's just gonna cast sleep then and try to hit them both with it. Like he's gonna probably, because it's a 20-foot radius area, so he's gonna do it like right here to where it hits them, and fuck the rest of the kobolds. So I don't know how much HP the other ones have, but yeah, he's gonna. Let's see. Well, give me 1 second. Let me put the rule. So sleep is a sphere, 20 feet at a point you choose. There you go, circle. So I don't know how you would, if you wanna, like 20 feet is so. Let's see. This is 5. I don't want to hit Xander.
So it's like 20 feet around.
Yeah, and they're right here. So.
Yeah, they're running that way. These guys have all ducked.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Xander, you wouldn't be affected really because actually 6 HP. I don't know who has more HP, him or the dragons, but
probably the dragons.
They're
wormlings are no pushovers. They are still dragons.
They're wormlings. They're bigger than.
I think wormlings are still the smallest possible option of dragon.
They're the smallest possible, so they are considered medium, but they are about the size of medium-ish dogs. So
holy shit, those are some big fucking. There's no. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, so if one of you could understand why these kobolds are cowering away from them, because they are big enough that those jaws can chomp.
Yeah, actually.
And they have their lightning and repulsion breath, but they have not used them on you.
Can I really quick try and make a call out to them?
Yeah.
All right. Just as they start, as I feel them start to take off, I just want to be like, not in like a yelling like, "Don't do this" type of way, but more in a calm, like fatherly type way.
You're projecting. You're not yelling. You're projecting.
Yeah. More of like a fatherly way. Just be like, "My friends, we just want to keep you safe. Out there, you're going to be hunted. Where we're taking you, you will be safe. You will be at peace, and you will have food and treasures that you will not have out there on your own.
The word treasures
That's why I
slows them
said
down.
that's what it.
Smart man. What is Zeroka doing?
I need to make a
I mean, what are
persuasion
they
or
doing
anything?
right now since he said treasure?
The treasure, you slowed them down pretty good, so now it is more like they are trying to kind of dodge around stuff, but they are no longer in a dead sprint. They're kind of just like, really? Treasure? Shit.
So they're still trying to make their way out.
They're still trying to make their way out, so they are still in the room.
Okay. I am going to hold a certain action and wait until Ms. fails on whatever he tries to do.
Okay. They get into this hallway area where the log is. They are able to kind of skirt around either side of it. Kaylin and Miz, two baby dragons, are charging at you. The bigger one starts to gather energy in its mouth. What you doing?
Kaylin is going to pull some Looney Tunes hijinks and try to trip them. Because she doesn't have the strength to just like grapple them and just be like,
I
So
wish I had some good chase music to play.
Just start playing Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Scooby Doo. Okay, give me an acrobatics check. Is Miz doing anything? Does he want to assist? Does he want to try anything? You are like right behind her.
So they're running, right? They're not flying. They're running on the ground.
Yeah, so this log is filling up about half of the space in that little area, that little hall thing that leads into there, but they are so small, and there's enough space because this is built for kobolds to maneuver around comfortably, and they are smaller than the kobolds technically height-wise, so they are unimpeded by this log. They've just moved to either side of it. They're charging. But not super. They're not sprinting now. They heard the word treasure and they're no longer sprinting. They are kind of just like, can we make it out? Weighing their options as they're moving in that direction.
Kaylin rolls a 19.
Okay. What about Biz?
To try to trip him.
Thinking I should do this, but it sounds kind of stupid. I was thinking if I can step back right before they get to me. So I don't know if there's enough time, but can I drop oil on the floor and set it on fire?
You're gonna set the floor on fire?
Yes.
The confidence with which he said yes. Okay, we have to do it now.
They will run into the fire or they'll stop.
What are you using to set the floor on fire?
Do I not have torches?
Not out.
You did not have one out, canonically. You've been following Kaylin.
Well, here's the thing. I have oil and I have a tinderbox. I can create a spark with that.
So you saw... Do you know how long it takes with the tinderbox?
I'm not entirely sure. That's my mask of there's time.
Does it say? Because I feel like I have tried to light fires before. Like,
The little pyro.
I think it's DM interpretation.
It takes an action.
So he can interact
okay, using
with
it to light a torch or anything else with abundant exposed fuel takes an action. Okay, so that's one action. So you're able to splash a little bit of oil real fast as you see them running at you, and you're getting that tinder going. Was Kaylin going for the bigger or the smaller?
The smaller.
So I have some bad news.
Oh no, that one's the most acrobatic.
I rolled for both of them. The bigger one got a natural 20. The smaller one got a natural 19.
Jeez.
With the 21.
Meet it or beat it, and I made it. Oh.
Yeah, so you, with the deftness of someone who is determined to help these little baby dragons, leap at one, but you weren't ready for it to just kind of flap its wings a little bit and kind of do like a side walk off of the side of the cavern, just its little nails digging in. You know, like how kittens get those little razor claws? Like, it's that situation. They haven't had much to wear down their nails in here. But the fire gives them pause, so they have made it to. I'm not trying to move the fucking chief. Hang on. They've made it to just behind Kaylin. And
No, don't.
they've paused, but they look like they're about to just jump over the fire. Does Miz want to do anything else?
No, he's just gonna step to the side, set that floor on fire, and see what happens.
Okay. They fly over it
Big brain
because
energy.
they are dragons.
Hmm.
But the good news is they are just baby dragons, so you're not sure how far they're actually going to get.
Can I actually like make a some kind of persuasion check now?
Yeah. Go ahead. You and Zeroka can do something now if you'd like. They have real high decks, okay? I was not expecting them to be rolling this good.
I will continue calling out to them, still not like in a frank, but just in a peaceful, calm way, and just but I will also pull out my coin purse, be like jingling it almost like as one would to get a toddler's attention, like, and we'll just be like, my friends, please let us help you. You're only going to put in danger out there. And
you hear their skittering and fleeing is slower.
And I will make a persuasion check with going one of my inspirations, I reckon, just to go ahead and get that advantage. Huh?
I mean, go ahead and see what you roll first.
That's fair. Oh, glad I did. Glad I listened. That's a nat 20.
Damn. You hear the skittering stop, kind of in that little cavern area where you were fighting earlier. And you hear them kind of whispering at each other, but you can't quite catch what's being said. And then the bigger one asks, how much treasure were you talking?
Xander will just be like, there is an abundance of treasure where we are taking you. Treasure of both material value and of peace and protection.
I mean, that's not technically a lie, because you bundled it with other stuff.
Yeah.
And we can go if we don't like it?
Of course.
Well, how are you getting us there? Your ankles looked all messed up.
We will have some friends arrive and teleport you there.
Well, you gotta promise you're gonna take us back to our original home if we don't like it.
Of course.
And there better be treasure.
I promise.
They have stopped. And they're no longer moving. Just tails are kind of twitching in an agitated way, like they are taking a big baby risk here, but they are babies and easily persuaded by shiny objects.
Xander will.
Don't we have something for them? Or did we give it to the chief already?
Talking about the pickaxe?
Was that the only thing that we got?
Yeah, we were gonna give the kobolds the pickaxe, and I was gonna give them all a rock. Yeah. But I don't have to do that anymore because the agreement we made was we were gonna fight, and if we won, we got to take them. So
I was seeing if you had something shiny to actually
You're
get the
right.
little bastards, but
I know Xander is going to, once they agree, he will just be like, "Thank you, my friends," and he'll almost treat them not as like when he's talking to them, treating them not as babies, as equals, but will in his actions almost kind of treat them that way. He will just walk by them and he will just have like some gold. He'll have his coin purse and kind of just kind of shaking it every now and then, just making the jingle. On the other hand, he'll have like 2 gold pieces that he's just flittering between his fingers, like, Jack Sparrow style, as he walks by them.
The smaller one is immediately like following you, like mesmerized, until the bigger one kind of like puts her claw out in front of him and just says, "That's patronizing. We are not some little animals that will just follow it like bait.
Oh no, I didn't assume you were. I'm just leading you to where we are going to teleport you away.
She sits up on her back claws and holds out one claw.
Xander will take any gold pieces out of his bag and put them into her claw.
Oh, that's more than she was expecting. Okay.
Yeah.
She is pleased as punch. You gave her way more than she wanted. And she hands half of it to her little brother. And they just very happily start kind of like looking at it and playing with it in their claws. And then they're like, all right, we can go, especially if there's more of this.
Of course. And Xander will put the coin purse away, but will continue doing the like finger flittering of the coin thing as he walks out of the cave with them, being careful to avoid traps. And the chief, if he would please, disarm any traps that these dragons run into, else they may go into that rage again.
Okay. He sends a kobold ahead of you to quickly disable and or point out any traps. And you all safely make your way outside. And as you do, let's see. So Xander was kind of in the front here. I did not mean to put you top of them. Then I guess it would be Zaroka and Kaylin with Ms. in the back. As you are walking the rest of the way out, there is a blue flash of light that you recognize to be a teleportation spell. And you all see a woman appear in front of you. She is a high elf. She has bright auburn hair. She has plain but nice clothing, very kind green eyes, and brings with her the faintest scent of the ocean and incense. And while she's dressed plainly, she has an elegance about her in her posture, and her movements are all very graceful as she gives you a very warm smile and takes a step forward and says, "My name is Lenora. You're the dragon team?"
Yes. Hello, Lenora. I am Xander. These are my compatriots, and kind of introduces them quick. These here are my twos, and he will hesitate once again to hope to say their names.
The two little dragons are very curious, and they kind of start sniffing a little bit. And the bigger one takes a few steps forward and kind of sniffs at her and seems to like the smell. And she finally just kind of sits down next to Lenora's feet and kind of is looking up at her and says, "I'm Pineapple, and this is my brother, Mango." Comes up and just starts sniffing at her too. She kind of crouches so that she is closer to eye level with the little dragons, and she introduces herself to them too and lets them smell her hand. And then with each of them, she kind of reaches behind the little frills on the side of their head and seems to find a spot that they absolutely love. And you see them do that thing that dogs do where one back leg starts just like twitching a little bit, and she has found their scratchy spot. And she just looks at them with a smile and says, "Thank you, team. You have done a wonderful job keeping these two safe. Did you have any trouble?"
No troubles at all.
Don't lie. Nothing that is going to get us in trouble later.
Exactly. No troubles at all.
Nothing that is.
Xander kind of like is not looking back at Kaylin, but is just like kind of has that like annoyed smile on his face, just like, just shut up.
And Kaylin just looks back at him with an eyebrow raised, and the
again,
face is just,
he's not looking at her.
No.
He's in front of her, so he can't see any of this.
So she doesn't see his face either.
Yeah, Lenora looks genuinely concerned, and she stands up, takes a step forward, and says, "If you got injured, I can heal you and anyone else that needs it."
I'm not going to tell you not to do that. That would be a terrible idea. Zeroka, did you even get hit at any point? You didn't?
Nope.
Yeah, just me. Just could use a little, a touch, a dash of.
You need to learn to dodge better, it sounds like.
Of course. She places a warm hand on your shoulder and casts Cure
100%
Wounds.
doing this on purpose.
And you heal 22 HP.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you can feel a much higher level healing spell than you are used to being cast on you. While she looks very gentle and does not look like a cleric or anything, she did use teleport to get here. And that was a stronger cure wounds than what you are used to receiving that you just got cast on you. Anything anyone else wants to say at this moment?
Safe travels.
Yes, please do take care of my two friends here and give them all of the food and treasure we can when they get to their home. And kind of gives her a wink to, like, do that thing. That's it. Dude, yeah.
The baby dragons are like, "Wait, we agreed to go with you.
I told you that
You're
a friend
changing
was going.
things for us now."
I told you that a friend would be teleporting you there.
They kind of look at each other and they don't look super pleased about this. They were very, very much focused on the treasure, so all of the other details have kind of slipped past them at the moment. And they seem to be pondering, and Lenora is about to say something when there is a second blue flash of light as Fredbin appears, as he teleports in. And looks a little bit surprised, and you see him and Lenora lock eyes, and Fredbin immediately looks nervous. And the smile fades from Lenora's face, but she doesn't look upset. She just seems to be hiding any kind of reaction to his presence.
Fredbin, what are you doing here?
Well, I was called because there were young dragons, and I was hoping I could, ask just a few quick questions before they were taken to the to the sanctuary. It is good to see you again, Lenora. Lenora looks at him and gives a little nod, just very slowly, and says, "And you, Mr. Winfear."
Do we immediately just clock this?
There is no animosity. Yeah, I mean, everyone roll an insight check. Anyone who wants to.
I want to know if Kaylin clocks this awkward energy. Ooh.
17.
21.
Oh, everyone's rolling hot. We got a 17 from Xander, a 20 from Ms. Did Zeroka want to roll?
No, Zeroka wouldn't care about his life.
That's fair. There is a palpable nervous energy, more so than normal. Okay, to be fair, Fredbin is not a very relaxed guy. He is tense in most situations. But Lenora's presence seems to be making him more nervous than usual. Lenora is not acting super cold to him. Her very blank expression changes to just a hint of a almost fake smile towards him. They obviously know each other, but that she is calling him by his last name hints that maybe they don't know each other well, or they don't get along.
They're not the closest of friends.
They are not the closest of friends, but they know each other.
Kaylin's just going to I do believe that is something that you can take up with our new fruity friends.
What do you mean by fruity friends?
They have names. You can ask them.
Yes. Well, hello there. I am Fredbin Winfia, and I was hoping to, get your names and perhaps ask you some other questions. And the two little dragons kind of like, this is yet another new person, and they kind of move a little bit closer to Lenora. And Pineapple kind of sniffs at Fredbin and says, "Well, I'm Pineapple, and this is my brother Mango. What's in it for us?" He says, "Oh, of course, of course." Reaches into his sleeve and pulls out what looks like a little paper package and unfolds it and sets down several fresh fish. And the two of them just immediately go in on these fish. And Lenora, I'm going to roll with those higher insight checks that you all roll. Lenora doesn't look irritated, but she's just, that fake smile is still there, and she seems to be pretending to be okay with all of this. And as the dragons are eating and Fredbin doesn't want to interrupt them, Lenora looks at you and looks at the cave behind you and says, "So what exactly happened in there?"
Go ahead, Dragon Messiah. Are we out of the cave? Out of the cave?
Yeah.
Cool. Kaylin is 100%. Go ahead, Dragon Messiah. It was in fact your idea.
Yeah. So, me being the he's clearly like doing like finger quotations and stuff to help kind of like sell the ruse or whatever. Just be like, me, the Dragon Messiah, the speaker for the dragon, negotiated with the
Kaylin's adding quotes in the
kobolds.
background to the words he's.
No, I know I am quotating them myself, but he's like with the kobolds about what to get the dragons from them. We ended up coming to an agreement that we went on to duel. Me and Zerokus is the chief and the shaman. And if we won, we could take them, and we're so we won.
After you got knocked out.
Did a lot more than you did in there.
She looks back at the cave that you've come out of, and the smile fades a little bit more. And she says, "I see. Well, that is quite unfortunate, but I'm very glad that you were successful, and everyone made it out alive."
So did all of them.
Why is it unfortunate?
Well, I suppose it hasn't been necessary in a long time, but there are laws against keeping dragons against their will, as there are with pretty much any creatures.
Well,
but this isn't exactly anything we can take to law enforcement.
Exactly. I don't believe it is either. But they were keeping them in the kobolds defense. They were keeping them very well protected, though. Yes, them without their say. So, but they are quite
dancing around chains is what they were doing.
Yes, but I love how like one who is assumed to be the one who wants just to murder people, and then I'm over here trying to keep like an international incident under wraps, and Kaylin's like, "Oh no, they had him chained up." Oh boy.
Yep. Because again, Kaylin is here to be petty. Her job was to make sure none of them died, and they're not dead. That doesn't mean she's not going to facilitate it happening by somebody else's hands.
And I'm the murder hobo. Anyway. But no, Xander will just be like, so yes, I mean they were protecting them, but did against their will. That is as far as I will go. As far as that's said, they are willing to be teleported to their new home, though they do seem to be under the impression that I was going to go with them. Though that is not what I told them. But if it does help put them at ease, I would be willing to go with if it helps make this easy.
I don't think this time. Gran did not tell me to bring anyone else back with me, but perhaps next time. And she reaches into her pocket and holds out for whoever wants to take it. It looks like the gold scale pendant that you have seen Jess used to teleport in the past. It is covered with runes, a little bit smaller than the palm of your hand, and she's offering it to whichever one of you wants to be the keeper of it.
I mean, since Xander's talking to her, he'll take it, I suppose.
She kind of very carefully presses it into your hand, one hand on top of yours and her other hand under as she makes eye contact with you. I need you to take this very seriously, and I'm sure you will, but that will teleport you directly into the greenhouse at the sanctuary, bypassing many of the protections. Not all of them, but many of them. Please be sure to keep it on yourself at all times.
Of
But
course.
I trust you. She gives you a warm smile again.
Xander will return the smile and will quickly put in his into his outfit, so not really showing where it's going.
Okay. You all clock that while you were talking to Lenora, Fredben has kind of knelt next to the dragons, and he's slowly feeding them more fish as he is asking them questions, and he has a mage hand holding open a notebook, and a quill seems to be writing of its own accord all of his notes. And you've all been able to kind of hear both conversations at the same time to an extent, because all of his questions appear to be very surface. He's asking them where they came from, if they remember where they were before this, how old are they. All of them are just very basic questions, and the dragons are not sure how to answer all of them because they're not quite sure where they are at the moment, but they know the direction of the ocean. And that is the direction that they both agree on and point at when he asks if they minded sharing where they hatched so that he could go and make sure any treasures there were still protected for them. Does anyone want to do or say anything as Fredben is collecting this information?
Xander will just be trying to clock all of this information that he can.
Okay. Those of you listening in, you catch that Pineapple is approximately 5 years old, and Mango is about 3.5. They don't know why or how they hatched. Pineapple found herself in a cave that she thought made a pretty swell dragon's lair. And then when she was doing some exploring, she found another one and showed up right around the time that Mango hatched and was able to kind of take care of him. The area that they were in were both uninhabited and rich with fish and other little things that they were very easily able to catch even as babies. But they're not quite sure where they are in relation to that. So a lot of their answers are the answers you would expect young children. They're in, it's that direction, maybe an hour or 2 hours. They don't know. It was a long trip, and they've been moved from lair to lair with these kobolds, so they kind of know the direction of the ocean, but not much else. Fredben looks just a little bit disappointed for just a moment when, they're not able to pinpoint anything a little bit more carefully for him, but he seems to be very happy with the answers he's getting for the most part. He's not asking them anything shady. All of his questions have been kind of surface at this point. Is there anything you all want to ask the dragons? Or anyone standing here?
Apparently, I need to shut up, so.
There's a point where Lenore kind of looks over at Fredben, the smile fades a little bit again. And then she looks down at the dragons and then back at your group and gives you all a small bow and says, I thank you again, but it is time for me to take them. I'm going to have to interrupt your conversation, Mr. Winfear. The longer they are out in the open, the easier it is for anyone to find them. They will be much safer at the sanctuary. Come now, young ones. Let me show you your new home, and we can always take you back if you don't like it. I promise. She gives them both a very genuine smile, and they are now happy and full of fish and just kind of nod. And she pulls out her own pendant that looks like a gold dragon scale and teleports the three of them away, leaving you there with just Fredbin.
Well. Very good. Mr.
Yes.
Fredman, good to see you.
Good to see you as well. As agreed, I very much appreciate your assistance. I'm not sure if anything will come of that particular conversation, as they were quite young, and unfortunately, seems that they were moved around quite a bit, and that is going to prove difficult to triangulate exactly where they were when they hatched. You can kind of like see him staring into space for just a moment as he's like calculating his next moves. Then he says, "Oh, right. Yes." He reaches into his sleeve and pulls out a few little bags, little coin purses. And he hands each of you 20 gold. He says, "This is for keeping up your end of the bargain."
Oh boy, I'm back in the black.
He has no idea, you know. I appreciate your loyalty. Perhaps next time I could have a longer conversation if you call me before, Jess or Lenora. But it is your comfort level. As we all want the dragons to be safe. We must do what's best for them. That is what this is all about. And you notice his demeanor much more relaxed as soon as Lenora's gone.
So, that was awkward. What the fuck?
Yes. Well, Lenora, Gran, and I, there have been some disagreements in the past. Gran is not exactly anyone that I would expect to help me in any manner, and unlike apparently all of you, I do not have the privilege of an invitation to the sanctuary.
Was it something you did? Was it a disagreement in methods? Like, I mean, what are we talking here? Or, like, did you kick a pup? What happened? Like, come on, man. We're gonna be working together. I feel like we gotta know why part of the people we're working with don't like the other part of.
He kind of looks away and looks troubled, and it seems to be figuring out exactly how he wants to phrase things. There have been instances in the past where I have handled things different than how they would have liked it, and mistakes were made. I believe Lenora has forgiven me, but Gran never will, I don't think. And I don't really blame her. But hopefully, in the future, things will change. That is why I am looking for information on these dragons, so I can potentially help them, and we'll see what comes of that. Perhaps I can redeem myself in their eyes, but it really is nothing any of you should worry about. It is from hundreds of years ago, really.
Gotcha. And Xander will just walk on, kind of past him, and kind of to the mouth of the cave, and will just be like, "Darn, you still out here?"
Darn kind of just jumps out and is like, "Hey, yeah, hey, you're alive.
Mission accomplished, buddy.
Everyone else alive?
Yep, everybody.
Hell yeah, I knew you could do it."
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, come on. My friend, he kind of looks back towards, you mind, my God?
Fredbin kind of looks a little surprised, but says, I normally would object to being a personal transportation service, but you did
you're
assist me.
Here, yeah.
Yes, but I cannot promise I will be available for that service in the future at all times.
Of course. Yeah, no, I'm not asking you to be our personal transport. I'm just saying you're going back that way anyways. It's just save gas money. You know what I mean?
He's like, of course. And Darn just kind of strolls up to him and kind of opens his arms in greeting and says, "Hey, Four Eyes!" Fredman's just like, "You look healthy." And he's like, "Yep, never been better." And we will end with you all teleporting back, and we can add to that however you want next session, but it's late as fuck. Yes. But I'll leave it where you have not teleported out, so if you think of something or anything you wanted to do or say before you leave, you are welcome to do that, and we will cover that next week. So, anything quick anyone wanted to add before we wrap this the fuck up?
No, I don't think so.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, with that, so I'll give a jumble goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
The proverbial camera pans over to the kobolds. It is sundown, a dusky twilight. The party is the kobolds are mullet now that their perceived dragon gods are gone. They are all gathered here when there is once again a blue. There is no kindness, no smile, but the look of someone with an unpleasant gated to perform. The startled kobolds, "Who are you? What business do you have here?" is unable to muster. But we cannot reach jury. I take no pleasure in this. She pulls a wand, it begins to crackle around. You will pay for your. You will never wrong a dragon. May Bahamut have upon your soul. Fear fills the eyes of the kobolds as they beat, but there is no escape. The flames that rage forth from her wand fill the tunnels beyond, and eventually erupt from the few tiny ventilation holes higher up on the hill that the lair is under. The all-encompassing flames purge the caves of all life, and as they die down, they leave only charred remains in their wake. A few minutes later, with the moon now lighting the area, Lenora calmly walks out and casts one last spell, shifting stone and rocks to cover the entrances, making it look like nothing was ever there. She looks at the side of the hill sadly now. It's a shame I could not give you a chance to pay penance for your crimes, but the world is not ready for the return of the dragons. Not yet. Not until we have more answers. She pulls from a pocket a gold dragon scale, just smaller than the palm of her hand, covered in rune and attached to a fine. She places her other hand on top of it, and it activates. There is a blue flash surrounding her, and then she is gone, and so is any evidence that there was ever life within this hill.
How unfortunate. It looks like Gary couldn't complete the pizza trials and deliver the pizza to the Stab Brigade. Maybe the power of friendship could help. And in order to strengthen those bonds, perhaps you could go on over to our socials and give us a look, or send us an email at critsandgrits@gmail.com. Or go check out some of the people that have supported us so far. Becky, you can follow on Sugar Puns. Tithus, you can follow on twitch.tv/Tithus, or on Twitter at OldManStark. Kyler, you can follow on YouTube at Fishing After 5. Jess, you can follow on twitch.tv/JessPanda, or follow the Momocon socials on MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Jay, you can follow on twitch.tv/Rush918, and Ducky, you can follow on twitch.tv/DuckyPlease.